Let's talk politics. Ted Cruz topping the Wisconsin polls ahead of today's critical voting contest there. The polls open in 45 minutes. Among Badger State Republicans who say they'll definitely vote today, the Texas senator leads Trump by double digits. So what are the issues driving Wisconsin voters? Joining us right now from Milwaukee is Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch. Good morning to you, Rebecca.
I'm good, actually. Good morning.
Okay, so what is it when people go to the polls in Wisconsin today? What's the #1 issue for them?
Well, a couple things. Because we're a manufacturing and an agriculture state, we still really care about American jobs, and we care about good and decent wages. And I think when it comes to voters from our state, those are the things that people are caring about. The other thing is there was a new poll done about a week ago, and it was a manufacturing-based poll, but it said that people did care about national security as about their #3 issue.
Sure.
So a lot of domestic policy, American jobs, and then also people are really going to vote on terrorism and making sure that they feel safe, secure here at home.
Marquette Law School did a poll in the last week, and they asked people this: should they raise taxes on the wealthy and corporations to fix income inequality? And in your state, 2/3 of the people who responded said yes. What's that about?
Well, don't forget that in Wisconsin we have this bizarre phenomenon. We are a very independent-minded state. People do their research on their candidates, and the phenomenon is this Scott Walker, Barack Obama voter. People will literally go to the polls and vote for candidates who are clearly policy polar opposites. And so people do care a lot about making sure that what the founders of this country intended still exists here today, which is equality. Now, when you talk about wage stagnation, though, and income inequality, they're two very different things, and I think a lot of people think they're synonymous. They're really not, because I think folks care a lot more about their own finances, making their own checkbook work, than they care about being envious of their neighbor. They just want to get paid what they're worth.
Yeah. Rebecca, during the break, you and I were chatting over the satellite, and you said one of the things that people in Wisconsin are talking about today is, why is John Kasich still in it? He's not going to win it. There's no chance he could get the number of delegates needed on the first round. So why is he still in it, right?
I think a lot of folks are talking about that, and the only logic that I can come up with is most folks in that camp are assuming there will be an open convention, a contested race on the floor, and delegates are going to ultimately make the decision right there in Cleveland. That's the only logic that I can come up with. Otherwise, you wouldn't see a path to victory at all there. But then you hear folks, just on the street talking about the fact that, it may not even be someone who is currently running for president. I think most people believe that it ought to be, but at the end of the day, I think that's why you still see Governor Kasich in the race, and that's why you see guys like former Wisconsin governor, longtime Governor Tommy Thompson endorsing him.
Interesting stuff. Well, Rebecca Kleefisch, who is the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Wisconsin, thank you very much for joining us from that diner. I see the coffee cup. Just wave Heather over and get a refill, would you? It's on us.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of need one. We didn't win opening day yesterday, the Brewers game, so I think probably the more coffee, the better off we are.
Well, you're going to need it about 10 o'clock tonight. Rebecca Kleefisch, thank you very much for joining us live today.
Cheers.
And there's Heather behind you with a cup of coffee. There you go.
That's good service right there.
That is good service. All right.